Have you ever wondered what it was like to visit a doctor during the Tudor era? Imagine a world without antibiotics, without anesthesia, a world where the line between science and superstition was incredibly blurry. Today, we're stepping back in time to meet a man who navigated this world. A physician who served at the very heart of the royal court, Dr. Robert Yaxley. His story isn't just about medicine. It's a tale of ambition, loyalty, and survival in the treacherous world of Tudor England. So, who was Robert Yaxley? He wasn't born into a noble family. His journey began in the world of academia. He was a brilliant scholar, earning his doctorate in medicine from the prestigious University of Cambridge around 1535. This was a time of immense change. The Renaissance was in full swing, bringing new ideas about the human body, but the old ways, the theories of Galen and the four humours, still held powerful sway. Yaxley's education would have been a mix of this ancient wisdom and the very beginnings of modern anatomical study. His skills and reputation grew, and he eventually caught the eye of some of England's most powerful people. One of his early and most significant patrons was Thomas Cromwell. Yes, Thomas Cromwell, Henry VIII's chief minister, the architect of the English Reformation. Being Cromwell's physician was a high-stakes job. It meant you were trusted, you were in the inner circle, but it also meant your fate was tied to his. Yaxley's association with Cromwell catapulted him into the orbit of the royal court. By the late 1530s, Yaxley was not just any doctor, he was a royal physician. This wasn't a 9-to-5 job. It meant being on call for the king and his family, day and night. King Henry VIII was famously a hypochondriac, plagued by a host of ailments. Most notably a jousting wound on his leg that ulcerated and caused him immense pain for the rest of his life. Can you imagine being the doctor trying to treat that? With the limited tools of the time, Yaxley and his colleagues would have used poultices, ointments, and probably a lot of wishful thinking to manage the king's suffering. But being a royal physician was about more than just medicine. You were a confidant. You saw the royals at their most vulnerable. You heard things. You knew things. Discretion wasn't just a professional courtesy. It was a survival skill. A single misplaced word could lead to the Tower of London. Yaxley had to be a skilled politician as well as a doctor, navigating the shifting alliances and rivalries of the court. When Cromwell fell from grace and was executed in 1540, it could have been the end for Yaxley too. Many of Cromwell's associates fell with him, but Yaxley survived. This tells us something crucial about him. He was adaptable. He had likely proven his worth and his loyalty directly to the king, independent of his original patron. He continued to serve Henry VIII until the king's death in 1547. After Henry died, his young son, Edward VI, took the throne. Yaxley remained a royal physician, his status and expertise now firmly established. He was a constant presence through a period of intense religious and political turmoil. He served Edward throughout his short, sickly reign, likely battling the tuberculosis that would eventually claim the young king's life. Then came Queen Mary I, or Bloody Mary, as she's often remembered. A staunch Catholic, Mary reversed many of the Protestant reforms of her father and brother. Once again, the court was a dangerous place. But Yaxley, the ultimate survivor, navigated this change till he became Queen Mary's physician. This is remarkable. He successfully served 3 monarchs with radically different personalities and religious beliefs. His primary loyalty, it seems, was to the crown itself, and to the practice of medicine. One of his most critical tasks under Queen Mary was dealing with her phantom pregnancies. Mary was desperate for a Catholic heir to secure her legacy. Twice, her body showed all the signs of pregnancy. Her abdomen swelled, she felt movement, but no baby ever came. Today, we might diagnose this as a pseudopsoriasis, a condition with complex psychological and physiological roots. But, in the 16th century, for Dr. Yaxley, this was an unprecedented medical and political crisis. He and the other physicians had to manage the Queen's hopes and the court's expectations, all while trying to understand a condition they had no name for. The pressure must have been immense. When Mary died in 1558, the throne passed to her half-sister, Elizabeth I, and who was there to greet the new Queen? You guessed it, Dr. Robert Yaxley. He became one of Elizabeth's first physicians. By now, he was an old hand at this, a living link to the courts of her father, brother, and sister. Elizabeth was famously cautious and intelligent. She valued experience and loyalty, and Yaxley had proven he had both in spades. His service to Queen Elizabeth marks the final chapter of his incredible career. He served her for the first few years of her reign, a trusted elder statesman of the medical world. The records of his actual treatments are sparse, which was common for the time. Tudor medicine was a blend of herbal remedies, dietary advice, and procedures like bloodletting, all based on the theory of the four humours: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. The goal was to keep these in balance. As a physician, Yaxley would have prescribed complex diets, warned against bad air, and likely performed or ordered bloodletting to treat everything from a fever to a foul mood. Robert Yaxley's life came to an end around 1561. He had lived through one of the most turbulent periods in English history. He had personally cared for 4 different monarchs: the tyrannical Henry VIII, the frail Edward VI, the tragic Mary I, and the formidable Elizabeth I. He had witnessed the English Reformation, the burnings of heretics, and the birth of the Elizabethan Golden Age, all from a unique and intimate vantage point. His story is a testament to more than just medical knowledge. It's a story of incredible resilience, political savvy, and the ability to adapt and survive. He wasn't a revolutionary who overturned medical science, but he was the steady hand that monarchs trusted with their lives. He represents the pinnacle of his profession in a time of great uncertainty. So next time you think about the Tudors, don't just picture the kings and queens in their finery. Picture the man in the shadows, the doctor with the steady gaze and quiet knowledge. The man who held the pulse of the monarchy, Dr. Robert Yaxley. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden histories. Let me know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next video.